I almost lost 6 years of friendship to trauma, and here is how I avoided it. Hello everyone, I am Mariam Adebusola Adela, and this is my growth story Unscripted, where I share my personal growth journey, how I have progressed over the years, just to inspire girls and young women out there who are also on their growth journey. You know how strong people always say, if someone breaks my heart now, if someone betrays me now, it doesn't stop me from trusting another person. It doesn't stop me from loving another person. Yeah, I'm one of those strong persons. We strong people always have this mantra that you can't break me. You do your worst, I move on. And it does not change my reaction, it does not change my relationship with another person. If a friend betrays me, I move on. I make another friend, and it does not determine how I relate with that new friend. The reality is, that is, what is the right word to use? The reality is, that is not the reality. The reality is, that is not the case. We always think we are in control. We always think, okay, I'm this lover girl. I'm this person that loves everyone. I'm this person that don't treat other person just because of how someone had treated me. We always have that narrative in our head. But the reality is our body keep the score. Our bodies keep the score. What has happened to us before, our body has captured that. If we had encountered a danger before, a threat or whatsoever, our body has experienced it. It has captured it. It has stored it. We just think, okay, we just give ourselves the narrative that when next I'm dealing with another person, I'm not going to bring whatever the other person had done to me to the other person. But the reality is our nervous system and brain don't work that way. You think you are in control. You think just because someone has done his or her worst to you, it does not affect how you're going to relate with another person. That is just a narrative we tell ourselves. The reality is most of the time, almost all of the time, our nervous system, our brain has captured everything, it has registered it. And when next there is a tiny similarity, when next there's a tiny similar action coming from another person, we go into defense mode. Don't forget, this is unscripted. We flow with the vibe, we flow with the message. And back to my personal story. I had my fair share of betrayals by friends when we were even very young, at our tender ages, primary school, secondary school. I had my fair share of betrayals, when we were still growing up. And then I said to myself, if a friend does anything to me, it does not change the fact that I'm going to make new friends. I'm still going to make new friends, and it won't change my relationship with the new friend. So fast forward to tertiary institution, I made a quite number of friends. I'm this kind of person that actually have a very small circle of friends. I have a very small circle of friends. And I made some friends 6 years ago when I entered the university. I made beautiful, amazing friends. And over the years, life changed, reality changes, everything changes. That's it. We change at every interval. And at a point, people don't align with people anymore. Interests don't align anymore. Values don't align anymore. And things happen, life happened. But I must say that at the same time, I had this fallout. It is not actually a defined fallout. I had a fallout personally with one of my closest friends. I mean, a personal fallout. There was no closure. There was not anything that, okay, we're not going to be friends anymore, all of that. Personally, I set boundaries among most of my closest friends. I set boundaries, and it is just what it is. It was growth. That one was not due to trauma or anything. But there was this particular friendship that I knew that No, after I realized what had gone down over the years, so I have a very, very close friend as such. I never knew that in my mind, my mind has made up the fact that now for this friendship to fall out this way, huh, trust in Mariam, every other friend can do their worst any other time. Like every other their next friendships, even the closest of your friend can also fall out. And for this kind of friendship, I'm trying to be as discreet as possible to be candid. That's the reason I'm picking my words. That's the reason I'm picking my words. I'm selecting my words. The reality is the closest friendship had, I personally had a fallout. And there was no closure that okay, there was a fallout. It was a personal decision on my end. And it wasn't like okay, fight or anything. I just set boundaries in my mind because it was highly needed. It was very, very needed. And I never knew that in my mind. I was telling myself that for me to have a reason to set boundary with this person, with how much I was obsessed with the person, with how much I trusted the person, with how much we share the memories we share, the how we cherished each other and all of that. For this kind of personal fallout to happen from my end, that means that no matter any other friendship can actually there can be fallout in any other friendship. Any other friend too can do stuff that are not that don't sit well with me. Any other friend too can drain my energy too. Any other friend too can pass on some negative remark. Any other friendship too can just fall out anytime. So it puts me in that defensive mode. It put me in that reactive mode that watch out, watch out, anticipate that this friendship too can fall out anytime. They can do their worst, they can betray you anytime, they can put you down anytime. Your success may actually trigger them anytime. Your success may actually not sit well with them anytime. Whatever you do may not sit well with them at some point. They can bring negative energy into your life anytime. They can do this to you anytime. I never knew that in my head. I've actually formed that wall that Mariam, beware. No matter how much you are close with this person, no matter how much you trust this person, no matter how much you people share correctly, things can solve in the future and there might be fallout too. So be aware, be prepared. So I currently have a beautiful friendship too that I've made for the past 6 years that I made almost at the same time with all of other friends that I made in tertiary institution. And because I had formed that wall in my head, because I had sensed some threat, my brain has sensed some threat that okay, this person too can do this thing to you. I'm always like looking out for okay, what does their action mean? What are they doing now? So to cut the story short, there was this particular time that there was some form of inconsistency from my closest girl right now. There was some form of inconsistency from her, and I thought too much about it. I overthought it. I was thinking, okay, maybe this person too is showing me some signs. Maybe this is time to just choose you. Maybe this is the time to just fall back and whatever. At that period, I actually wanted to react with what my brain told me that okay, it is a danger. This is another sign. This is a warning of danger that is coming ahead. And I wanted to pull out at that point. I wanted to I wanted to actually step back a little at that very point. It was not quite long, it's not even up to a month. I wanted to step back a little at that very point that no, maybe this person too is giving me another sign. Because I was always thinking maybe in the future this person too might turn out to be like this. Things may not go well with this person anymore. And but because I'm in my healing journey, I'm in my healing period and taking charge of myself more. I am more aware than ever before because when my emotional brain is talking, I know how to awake my logical brain to take charge. I know how to awake my foresight to take charge because I'm on my healing journey. I'm more aware now. So when those thoughts came into my head, when those voices came into my head, and I wanted to take action by pulling back, by disconnecting, I had to tell myself, Mariam, what if this ecosystem is just innocent? What if it is just a normal thing? What if you're just thinking too much about it? And I had to think about it very well, and I actually realized that it was very innocent at its highest peak. It was my trauma that was telling me, okay, you have to be very careful of how you go deep with this person too. You have to be very careful of how you relate with this person too. Things may not go on for this forever, like this forever. So you have to be anticipatory. You have to be cautious and all of that. So I had to awaken my logical brain to take charge. And at that very moment, I told myself, even if things don't turn out well at the end, even if there is a fallout at the end, why should I care? I live in the moment. I cherish and hold dear whatever we share now. And I don't live with anxiety and fear that okay, they might do this to me, they might do that for me. Mine is to focus on the present and cherish everything that we hold dear, cherish every moment, trust fully without holding back, be vulnerable without holding back, do everything without holding back, without bringing up some objections or limitations, do everything fully. And when anything hits, when the negative hits, yeah, I move on again. Because if I keep building up defensive word, okay, this person too, things might not go well with this person, and we might have fallout, we might have this, we might have that. Maybe when I'm bigger than this, there might be issue and all of that thing. If I keep raising these objections, how do I heal? How do I build a thriving relationship? How do I build a beautiful friendship? How do I not lose something that is very dear and precious to me? So I told myself, I'm never ever, anytime that voice comes up that, okay, Mariam, this is a threat, Mariam, this is danger, I'm never ever going to succumb to that. When finally the danger manifests itself, when finally the threat manifests itself, fine, let it be. And I know how to deal with that. I'm at that stage that I have a very pretty much control over my life now. I'm not in total control, but I'm very more aware now. I know when I'm reacting, I know when I'm just being human and all of that. So if at that point I had given to my emotional brain, I had given up to my emotional brain, I would have really pulled out from that beautiful friendship. I would have really pulled out, and all of a sudden the person just be wondering, okay, what went wrong? What went wrong? And that might have been the end. But really, the personal fallout I said I had earlier, things actually went wrong, and that was not my trauma talking. That was not my trauma reacting. It was both reacting because it was not serving me anymore. I'm still pretty much in contact and all of that stuff. I'm pretty much in contact, but really, I know myself personally that nah, no matter how much I know myself, but I'm rooting. I'm so much rooting for that person. I still love the person. I still love my friend. I'm still much rooting for her, whatever she does. If in her proudest moment, I'm very, very proud of her. In everything she does, I'm very much proud of her. But really, I just set that boundary that no, there is limitation to what I know about you. There's limitation to what you know about me. And there's limitation to how much I bring into my space. And there's limitation to how much I go into your space. That's just it. I love you from afar. And when it is needed, when you need me, I'm very much pretty available to be there for you. I won't say I won't be there for you, but I know when I will be there. When I don't feel like being there, I'm not going to be there. So that's just it. And I feel like because of what happened, then I started thinking if I could really think this person if I could really say, okay, I can't move on with this person, that means that I could literally say I can't move on with any friend, no matter how close we are, no matter how how much we trust each other and how obsessed we were with each other. Because I was very, very obsessed with this person, all of that thing. But that is just the story that I almost lost 6 years of friendship, beautiful 6 years of friendship to trauma. And I must say that trauma is not what really happened to us. It is not that one event where you were abused. It was not that one event that where you were neglected. It was not that one. It was not at that period where you suffered or where you were rejected. Trauma was not that period. Trauma is not what happened to you. Trauma is not when there were series of inconsistencies, there were series of energy sapping moments from the previous friendship. Trauma is not when your ex abused you. Trauma is not when you were abused as a child. Trauma is not when that event happened. Trauma is what you become after the event, after what happened. Trauma is the voice that speaks in your head after what happened. Trauma is the narrative you tell yourself after what happened. Trauma is how you respond to other events after what happened. Trauma is what you believe of yourself after what happened. So, if you had ever suffered from abuse or anything, and after that you feel like, okay, this other person too will come into my life and at the end of the day abandon me, at the end of the day disappoint me, that is trauma. If you had always been in toxic relationship all of your life, maybe even growing up you had a very toxic life growing up, and maybe you suffer from emotional loneliness, you suffer from physical abuse, any form of abuse while growing up, or maybe you had to do a lot to show that you are worthy of being loved while growing up. You had to do a lot to get the approval of your caregiver while growing up. Maybe you had to do a lot to gain love or earn love while growing up, or even in your adult life. When you meet someone that you don't have to do anything for the person to love you, when when someone loves you without you begging for love, you started to feel scared that, oh, maybe this person is too good to be true. That is trauma talking in your head. Trauma was not when it was not the first time maybe your caregivers did not attend to you. That trauma was not that period that your caregiver did not attend to you and you had to do something to gain their attention, to gain their love, to gain their approval and all of that. Trauma was not that period. Trauma is how you keep telling yourself that you have to do for other people to love you. Trauma is how you keep telling yourself that people will not love you until you do something for them. Trauma is how you keep telling yourself that, oh, this person that comes into my life and I don't have to do anything for the person. I'm not the one chasing the person. The person just loves me naturally. This is too good to be true. This is unsafe. This person must have ulterior motive. This person too will soon abandon me. No matter how beautiful this person is, no matter how sweet and loving this person is right now, at the end of the day, he will abandon me. At the end of the day, he will disappoint me. That is trauma talking. The reality is our body, as I said earlier, keep the score. When things are happening, when you go through some terrible moment or even unpleasant moment or whatever moment it is, when you go through it, your brain registers everything that, okay, this is a threat, this is a danger, this is that. And when next it senses something similar to what you had experienced before, it tells you that, no, this is another danger, be aware, be cautious, and you start building up defensive wall. And also, if you had gone through some terrible moments or pleasant moments or whatever, your brain has registered it. It has known that, okay, when I was abandoned, this was how I dealt with it. when I was in that toxic relationship, this is how I dealt with it. When that friend betrayed me, this was how I dealt with it, and all of that. Your brain has already decided that, okay, you know how well to deal with betrayal, you know how well to deal with abandonment, you know how well to deal with loneliness, you know how well to deal with suffering and all of that. Your brain knows that, oh, I know how well to manage, to cope, to undo stress, to undo betrayal, to undo mistrust and all of that. Your brain knows how to tackle all of those negative events. It has learned to tackle all of them. So when next it happens, it knows how to tackle them. If someone now comes into your life with no betrayal, if someone comes into your life with no suffering, if someone comes into your life with too much love, if someone comes into your life with something that looks so perfect, that looks so perfect, nice, beautiful, you'll be like, no, your brain will be like, no, baby girl, this is not safe. Your brain will be like, baby girl, this is not safe. No, 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 this is not safe. Because you've never dealt with that before. You'll be scared that if I move on with this something that looks so beautiful, I don't know how it is going to end. You know, I've dealt with something toxic before. I know how it's going to end. I can predict it. It is predictable. I know that I can deal with that. But something so beautiful, what if at the end of the day it turns out not to be beautiful anymore? Am I going to deal with that? So that is trauma talking. That is trauma raising all of these voices in our head, because our brain has kept the score, because our body has kept the score. Our nervous system registered everything when they happen, and when next something else similar is happening, it reacts. It's either it's fight, which is attack, or it's flight, which is like running away, or it's freeze, which is like shutting down. So now let's say when you were growing up, you grew up in a very abusive environment. Maybe your caregiver used a lot of harsh and negative word on you. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you do, they will still demean whatever you do. They will still put you down, and you had to live with that for a very long period of your life. And maybe at a point you even got your freedom, that, you know what, I'm leaving them behind. I've started a new life now. When next someone says something that give you a remark that is even innocent, but you term it as being offensive or negative, if your nervous system goes into that fight mode, which is attack mode, that's when you find yourself spark. You just like, what the heck? Blah, 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 blah. What did you just say? What do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. This, that. You just go into that fight attack mode, because you're sensing that, okay, this person is about to put me down again. This person is about to demean me. Then you go into attack mode, that, no, I'm not going to allow that. You were triggered. So when next you want to react, pause. When next you want to go into that attack mode, pause. Is this coming from a place of normal human reaction, that, okay, this person has actually trespassed, this person has actually stepped beyond the boundaries, this person did not really put his word very well? Is it coming from a place of, no, this is unacceptable, to an average human being, to the reasonable man, as we say in law, the common reasonable man? Or I'm being triggered by what had happened to me before? So you have to pause and think before you react. Pause and think before you react. If someone says something that you feel like it is offensive, it is abusive, or it is negative, before you say anything to that person, use your logical brain, your left brain, to think, my reaction and what I want to say to this person, is it coming from a place of trigger because of what I had experienced before, or I actually need to react as a normal human being? And when you want to react, so know how to pass your information with power without turning a victim to the other person. That is it. That's one thing. That's also one of the things I've been learning over the years. Because I'm this kind of person that I'm very, very easy to react. I have this short temper. When people do stuff to me, I keep it. I try to let it go. But when I spark, I spark. When I spark. You won't be able to handle it. So now I'm becoming more emotional attuned to the fact that okay, before I react, I want to ruminate on what you just did. Do you actually worth my response? What you said, does it worth my response? That's one. Another thing is, well, the way I'm feeling like reacting right now, is it coming from a place of trigger or really it is innocent and I need to really react that way? It's a whole lot of work. Healing is a whole lot of work. But over time, if you keep doing the inner work, you will fully reclaim your full self. That's for the fight mode. When your nervous system wants to react, it can react in fight mode. Another way is the flight mode. Let's say you were, let's say someone was, I want to pick my words well now. Let's say someone that suffered from physical abuse growing up or the other form of abuse growing up, and it has always been batter, touch here and there, or maybe some physical contact that maybe from there on you get triggered by some images, some sound, some touch, some whatever it is. And maybe when you see that image, an image that's similar to what you have experienced before, if it was physical abuse, emotional abuse, or the other form of abuse while growing up, or maybe at a point in your life, and maybe you hear sound, or you feel a touch, or you see an image that reminds you of what you had experienced in the past. You might go into flights like that. Okay, I don't want to deal with this. You might disconnect. That's okay. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to I just want to let it be. I don't want to think about it. And you might not do anything and just accept it or whatever. Or you might freeze, and that is shutting down completely, that you won't even feel anything. You won't be able to say, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. You just lock your brain, you lock everything for that moment so that you won't remember, so that you won't feel anything. So our nervous system, when it sees something that our nervous system, our brain, when it senses something that is a threat or danger or something from the past, it might go into fight, which is attack, flight, which is running away, escaping from it, trying to disconnect from it, which is what where I wanted to go into when that situation with my friend happened. When I sensed that inconsistency with my friend, that period I wanted to disconnect. That no, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I wanted to take charge. I wanted to control that. Okay, the best way to control this situation is by pulling back a little. I wanted to do that. I wanted to flight then. I wanted to escape then. Or you might go into freeze mode, which is shutting down completely. Like you don't want to even feel anything. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to feel it. You're not even going. It's not going to register. Like it's not that it's not going to register. You're just not going to feel it. You're not going to feel anything. You're going to feel numb. That you just let it pass through your body and you will not feel it, or pass through your mind and you will not feel it in your body. Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, trauma is not what happened to you. It is what you become after what happened to you. It is how you react henceforth after what happened to you. And we need to become more aware whenever we're doing anything. We have to ask, am I reacting from a place of trauma, or I'm actually just reacting as an innocent human being? And this journey is not easy. Some days you will feel like, no, I don't know, I shouldn't have started this healing thing. You know, you even get more anxious and scared more. You get more anxious and more scared because you're like, okay, you will be always aware that, okay, am I doing this thing from a place of trauma? Am I doing it from a place of innocency? Am I acting the right way? What if I'm acting too much? What if I'm overreacting? All of that. It's not easy. Some days you just like, let me just go back to me that will do and give and give. All this trying to set boundaries does not work and all of that. But it is worth it at the end of the day because you feel more peaceful at the end of the day. You own yourself. Now you don't perform. You are being, you're just being, you're doing everything from being you. You're not doing anything to please anyone. You're not doing anything to gain love from anyone because now you love yourself for who you are. You love yourself from deepest, the deepest place in your heart. And healing feels so beautiful because now you have more control over your life more than ever. You have control over your activities, your reactions, your inactions, your actions, your emotions, your feelings more than ever. And now you don't have control, more control over people. Because now maybe before someone, if someone says something, just react. Everyone just like you like she's the one overreacting and love that. But now if someone does something and just be like, you know what, you don't even matter, I don't give a damn about you. You just let it slide. You have a leverage that way. You have an edge that way. You are the one in power now. And now when you deal with people, when you relate with people, you're relating from a place of logic at the same time from a place of bliss. You're not putting too much sentiment and emotion into what you're doing. You're expecting less from people. You just be you. And if someone messes up, the messes up, you continue being you. So if you are currently in that relationship, friendship, or even any form of human relationship, and you are experiencing something beautiful, you're experiencing something awesome, and you're scared that, and some voices are coming up in your head that, maybe this person is too good to be true. Maybe this person will reject me later on. Maybe this person will abandon me too. Maybe this person will disappoint me. Maybe this person will betray me. Tell that voice that to heck be with you. Tell that voice to heck be with you. Go off my head. I'm in charge, yeah. Tell that voice I'm in control. I'm in charge. No matter what happens, if at the end of the day the betrayal happens, the mistrust, whatever happens, let it be. But right now, I'm having the best of my life and I'm enjoying it. If whatever happens, it happens at the end of the day, I don't give a damn. I move on with my life. Because whatever happens, it happens for my greatest good. I will come off in flying colors. I will come out more beautiful. I will come out more aligned, more successful, more fulfilled at the end of the day. In this life, we just need to learn how not to be put down by events or situations in our life, how to take charge of everything that life itself, when life throws some unpleasant events to you and you deal with it in the most shocking way. You deal with it in a way that feels like, you know what, you can't put me down. Lifestyle will be shocked that the heck. So with how much I've dealt with this person, she's still sour higher every single time. At the point life itself will give up and do your bidding. That's a fact. So baby girl, cherish that beautiful moment you have now. That beautiful relationship you have now. Cherish it. That beautiful friendship you have right now. Cherish it. In as much as the other person, the other party is meeting you up where you both are having beautiful time, even in the midst of challenges or conflict or disagreement, you guys can still come together and discuss things out and all of that. Disagreements are normal. They are bound to happen. They're inevitable. In as much as no one energy is getting drained in the way. No one is is having to do all the work. In as much as it's not a single person that has to put in all of the effort, you guys are when you are coming with 70, the other person can come with his 30, and on this that you can't come up with your 70, the other person can only come up with 10, the other person can come up with the 90 and all of that thing. In as much as there's always balance, you guys can always complement each other. You guys have peace in friendship, in relationship, in family. In as much as you all can have that peace at a period of time that okay, when I'm at my low, the other person can be at his high, and when I'm at my high, the other person that is low, I can be at my high and love that and complement each other. In as much as nothing is draining your energy, in as much as nothing is pulling you back, in as much as it is not taking too much from you, you can make it work. and live in the moment. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And I want to say that at a point when, did I tell you how I dealt with it? Apart from the fact that I told myself that, okay, I'm not going to listen to these voices, I actually had to, because in my head I was like, I was not going to call, I was not going to even do anything. And in my head, at that point in time, I just like had to call her that, baby girl, how are you? You not even ask of me and all of that thing. And it ended out well. It's ended out well. Yes, that it ended well. It ended well. And afterwards I was like, so if I had listened to those voices in my head, imagine how I would have overreacted and lost something beautiful. You know, we both are imperfect, we're not perfect. On this that I'm perfect, I'm in my most perfectness. And she's in her most imperfectness. I can use my perfectness to complement her imperfectness. And all this that I'm in my most imperfectness, she can use a perfectness to complete my imperfectness. And that's how beautiful life is. And I'm super happy. I'm super proud of this very moment. You know, this period is kind of tight. You know, things are not really flowing naturally, especially. I don't know. I've been at home for over 4 months now, and you know, things sometimes things just bloom. Sometimes many times things just go down, and I mean, most of the times, I mean, things are not flowing. But really, this period, no matter how much things are not looking like they're flowing, I'm in my most 90% of the time, I'm in my most blissful moment. I'm enjoying life, even with this little. Like I literally have this period. I'm literally in my period of little because I bought in the first 3 months of the year. I bought things. Money was coming in. I was paying bills, doing stuff, but it's like April now. It has been what it has been. And some shit will just happen from this and be like, oh my god, this might not go the way I thought and all that thing. But really, I miss all of this. I still feel very fulfilled. Like I feel so confident. I feel so confident that it's either it is good or it is good. Because this period, um, my healing journey, one, um, I'm more steadfast on my faith journey. None of that thing. This period, I'm in my state of flow. So, what am I even saying this? Even when I'm just saying that this is what healing does to you. This is what being spiritually rooted does to you. Your spirituality can also help your healing journey because if you can trust in your Lord, then everything will be fine. You know, I know how much I pray to my Lord almost every time. Every time I pray so much that God heal me of my traumas, heal me of my insecurities, heal me of my fears, heal me of my anxiety. And I can see how much is granting my request. You know, things happen, unpleasant things happen just for me to get healed. Unpleasant things happen just for me to get more aligned. Unpleasant things happen just for me to get more happy. And I'm to get happier and I'm so glad. I don't know what I'm saying all of this, but really it's my season of little to be candid. It's my season of putting in a lot of work, but really my heart is at peace. People feel like I have more than I have because my heart is at peace because I'm content with I have because I trust so much that when all this season is over, I'm gonna eat big. I'm gonna eat big. I'm gonna ball big. So there those voices in your head that is telling you that that beautiful thing you have in your hand is going to end. Even if it is money you have now, if money is coming to your hand, if money is coming to you like you never imagined, if any voice is coming up from your head that this money might finish, dead it right now. Dead it right now. So this is my growth story unscripted, episode 7. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of myself. Episode 7. What? And to meet again, the next time I come to your screen, I'm rooting for you.